Fort Sumter was a Union fort positioned at the entrance of Charleston Harbor. It was centered on much debate of the possessor of the fort and was fired by the Confederates and captured, initiating the Civil War.
The border states were Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina. These joined the Confederacy soon after, along with the undecided Kentucky, Missouri, Maryland, and Delaware.
Habeas corpus, suspended by Lincoln at the start of the Civil War, was the constitutional requirement that authorities explain to a court their reasons for arresting someone.
In July of 1861, 35,000 Union soldiers marched south crying, "On to Richmond," followed by journalists, politicians, and sightseers. They met 25,000 Confederate troops and later an auxiliary force of 2,300 Confederate troops where Union soldiers broke ranks and were massacred.
The form of war utilized by the South, which gave them the home field advantage over the invading Union, was the defensive warfare.
Robert E. Lee was offered to be the commander of the Union. However, he declined, saying that he belonged to his home state of Virginia, which was part of the Confederacy.
William Seward was the Secretary of State under Lincoln's administration and was widely seen as the leader of the Republican Party.
Salmon P. Chase was the Secretary of Treasury and opposed concessions to the South, also considered Lincoln too conciliatory.
Edward M. Stanton was the leader of the War Department and struggled under the ability to supply the number of necessary troops.
The National Bank Act prohibited state banks from issuing their own banknotes and forced them to apply for federal charters, thus creating the first national currency.
The Morrill Tariff Act, combined with subsequent measures, raised the tariffs to more than double the pre-war rate.
The Homestead Act gave 160 acres of public land to any citizen who agreed to live on it for 5 years and thus improve upon it in some manner and then pay a small fee.
The Morrill Land Grant Act gave the states public land that would allow them to finance land-grant colleges, offering education to ordinary citizens in various skills.
The Anaconda Plan envisaged slowly squeezing the South with a blockade at sea and on the Mississippi River.